Good afternoon, and welcome to ESF's new student convocation. My name is David Newman, and I have the honor to serve as the interim provost and vice president for academic affairs here at ESF. First, we want to start with the singing of our national anthem by Regina Ryan, who is a staff member in ESF's Human Resources.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Awesome. Thank you, Gina. That was wonderful. Now, I want to welcome you all to this year's convocation, which is unlike any convocation held before. I would like to welcome Officer in Charge Joe Rufo, Syracuse University Provost Dr. John Liu, fellow faculty and staff members, students, and guests. I also want to extend a special welcome to the students and faculty at our Ranger School. Because of the virtual nature of this year's event, this is the first time that they have been able to participate in this gathering. As provost, I serve as the chief academic officer of the college, and I work with the president, the executive cabinet, the chairs, faculty, staff, and students on campus to provide oversight for all academic activities and policies. That means I have responsibility for pretty much everything relating to academic engagement and the student experience at ESF. In my position, I have many opportunities to interact with faculty and students about the academic enterprise that we are all engaged in. It is my pleasure to use this gathering to introduce myself to you and welcome you into the ESF family. Our objective here at ESF is to provide a unique learning experience that will prepare you not only to be skilled and knowledgeable in your field, but also to have the wherewithal to become lifelong learners. You might ask, why is this necessary? But as we have seen, the world sometimes changes in ways that we can't even imagine. So we have to be willing to explore new things to keep up with that change. Some examples of this change. When I was a freshman entering university a very long time ago, my high school graduation present was a portable typewriter, which was a very big deal at that time. My first calculator was a Texas Instrument 10 that could only add, subtract, multiply, and divide, and it cost me $80. Which is almost $500 in today's dollars. For an extra $20, you got a calculator with one memory key, the ability to do squares and square roots, and had pi. All computer work was done on punch cards that you had to submit to the mainframe computer wizards, and you received a printout sometime later. We went to field exercises in the back of a stakeside pickup, and overheads were the height of classroom technology. Finally, The library was a place where you actually had to go if you wanted to find out information. Imagine that. But the training that I received allowed me to integrate new information as it came online and adapt to the changes that have been both dramatic and rapid. Hopefully, that is why you are here, to take advantage of what ESF can provide to you to make your world better and make you better prepared. ESF itself is a good example of the way institutions can adapt to change. The college started in 1911 as the New York State College of Forestry at Syracuse University. Its focus was forestry, but soon added auxiliary programs in engineering, chemistry, and landscape architecture. We became part of SUNY in 1948, and in 1972, the college changed its name to Environmental Science and Forestry. Since its founding, programs have waxed and waned to where we are now recognized as a specialized college within the SUNY system with primacy in the environmental sciences. Now, your class will see as much change as almost any in the history of the college. Having to start your academic experience primarily with online instruction is very new. But we also have Marshall Hall, the second oldest building on campus, which will be closed down to be completely renovated starting this summer and creating a totally transformed and world-class learning space. As a result, the Department of Landscape Architecture will be moving into downtown Syracuse for the next 2 years, creating a very different type of external campus for the college. There will be other changes associated with how we meet the challenges of your health and safety while providing the world-class education outcomes that you expect from us. It won't be easy or necessarily pretty while all this work is going on, but I strongly believe that the voyage that we are all embarking on will be successful. As new ESF students, there are several things that you can expect from us: a world-class education, access to the field training that we are known for, and the support you need to succeed academically. It is our shared responsibility to see that these things happen, and we will do our best to make sure that they do. The orientation program that you have just experienced was designed to help facilitate your integration into our campus and to help you become aware of the various resources available to you. I want to express my gratitude to our orientation planners, our orientation leaders, international student orientation mentors, our resident assistants, and the faculty and staff who have worked so hard to make your arrival and orientation such a smooth experience. So, at this time, it is my pleasure and privilege to present you to the officer in charge, Joe Rufo, the other presenters gathered here this afternoon, and the greater ESF community to mark your transition from orientation participants to fully matriculated students and full-fledged members of the ESF community. We welcome you to the ESF community and hope that you embody the ESF ethos, which is to combine practical skills and wisdom. It is based on respect, knowledge, gratitude, and care. And it celebrates the values that are held in such high regard at ESF: curiosity, creativity, collaboration, integrity, and inclusion. Mr. Rufo and all gathered here in the Gateway Center and those tuning in from a distance, it is my honor and privilege to present to you the ESF class of 23 and 24, and let us formally welcome them into our community and wish them great success. Congratulations all. Best of luck to you as you begin your studies next week. It is now my pleasure to introduce Miss Catherine Kitty McCarthy. Kitty is the Associate Provost of Enrollment Management for the college and is the newest employee on campus, starting work here just 2 weeks ago. Kitty was most recently at Radford College in Virginia, but has worked in enrollment management at a number of institutions, including at SUNY, before coming to ESF. Welcome, Ms. McCarthy.
Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome to ESF. We are excited to have our new first year and transfer students with us, whether here on campus, at the Ranger School, or perhaps from points around the world. We share something in common. As Dr. Newman shared, I too am new to the State University of New York College of Environmental Science and Forestry. I joined this special community just on August 10th as Associate Provost for Enrollment Management. I work closely with the Office of Undergraduate Admissions and the Financial Aid Office to recruit new students who are capable, bright, and create change, just like you. There is another quality I would add to characterize ESF students in the ESF community, and that is optimistic. During challenging times, optimism may seem like a luxury, but it is quite the opposite. To move forward, we have to be optimistic. In an April New York Times article, writer Kristen Wong shared some valuable advice. To be optimistic, we must practice compassion toward ourselves and each other. We must find pleasure in the small things. We must look for meaning, and we must give back and build community. You are in a unique and enviable position to do all of those things here at ESF. By choosing to enroll here, by taking the next step in your education, and creating a vital future for yourselves, your families, your communities, and your environment, you are expressing your optimism. We are thrilled you are making this journey at ESF. I'd like to introduce our new undergraduate students collectively. Over 500 new first-year and transfer students will be with us for this academic year, some on campus, some online. Over 2,500 undergraduate applications were received for fall 2020. Approximately 60% of those applicants were admitted. You are joining 56 new students who recently arrived at the Ranger School. Most of our new students are from New York State, but out-of-state representation is strong, with 20% of our new students coming to us from other states and other countries other than the U.S. For our first-year students, your mean high school GPA is 92.5, or roughly 3.7 on a 4-point scale. Your mean SAT is 1217, ACT is 27. Over 40% of you have an academic interest within environmental and forest biology. We also welcome new students to the departments of Sustainable Resources Management, Environmental Resources Engineering, Environmental Science and Environmental Studies, and the departments of Chemistry, Chemical Engineering, Landscape Architecture, and our undeclared option. It is a great honor for me to present all of our new undergraduates to Officer in Charge Joe Rufo and the entire ESF community. Welcome.
Thank you. It is now my pleasure to welcome Dean Scott Shannon, the Associate Provost for Instruction and Dean of the Graduate School. Scott is also a member of the Landscape Architecture faculty and received both his degrees from ESF, a BLA and an MLA. Welcome, Dean Shannon.
Thank you, David. Good afternoon. I'm pleased to welcome and introduce the Fall 2020 ESF entering class of graduate students. You are a remarkably accomplished group, and we are proud to have you all here today on the threshold of beginning your careers as graduate students at ESF. I'd like to begin by sharing a few details about this year's graduate class, particularly given the circumstances of the past 6 months, how remarkable it is that each of you has come to be here today. 327 applications were made for graduate study at ESF this fall. The vast majority of these, far before anyone imagined what COVID-19 would do to make getting to Syracuse so difficult. Of these applicants, 111 were accepted and committed to enroll this fall, leading us to what we hoped might be our largest entering graduate class since 2015. And this is not just a large group, but it's also geographically diverse. We have students coming from 17 different countries outside the United States and 18 different states within. Finally, and perhaps most impressively, this is clearly a very talented and accomplished group as well. The average undergraduate GPA of this year's class was 3.6. That's 0.2 of a grade point better than any class we've ever seen in the past. The average GRE score was 157, or approximately the 71st percentile of GRE takers worldwide, and matching the highest aggregate we've ever seen of an entering class at ESF in the past. Sadly, we'll be missing all but a small handful of the international students who hope to be here today, as travel restrictions implemented to combat the pandemic have made coming to Syracuse nearly impossible. Most have deferred entry to January or to next fall, so we're pleased to say that they too will ultimately join this outstanding group eventually and take their rightful places among you all. So, there's much for all of you to look forward to during your time here at ESF. While the world around us will undoubtedly remain focused on combating and overcoming the pandemic, we're still pretty certain that many of the biggest challenges facing all of us today are connected to the environment. Here at ESF this fall, you'll still get the opportunity to learn how to better understand and develop means of mitigating or arresting climate change, or to develop and advocate for more effective environmental policies. Others will learn to develop novel and more sustainable materials and energy sources, to plan and design more resilient communities, to learn to protect and restore critical habitats and biodiversity around the globe. As the pandemic ultimately wanes and global economies recover, acquiring this knowledge, developing these skills, and making these efforts will become more critical than ever to securing a better future for all. You are the generation of graduate students that will need to move these efforts forward toward success. And I can't think of a better place or a better time to begin taking those next steps. Good luck and have a great fall semester. Thank you.
Let's give some hands. Come on. Thank you, Scott. Please join me now in welcoming the ESF officer in charge, Mr. Joseph Rufo, to the podium. Joe has served as ESF's Chief Financial Officer and Vice President for Administration since 2008. Prior to that, he had senior financial management positions with the Syracuse City Schools, Onondaga Community College, and in the private sector with Niagara Mohawk Power Company. Welcome, Mr. Rufo.
Thank you, Dr. Newman. I too remember the portable typewriters of yore. It's good to be here today and now. So students, friends and family, faculty, staff, and alumni, on behalf of the entire ESF family, I too want to welcome you to the start of our 2020-2021 academic year. As Dr. Newman noted, my name is Joseph Rufo, and I'm the college's officer in charge. As officer in charge, what that means is I'm serving essentially as the acting president until such time as a new president is appointed, and here at ESF. I also want to thank Syracuse University Interim Vice Chancellor and Provost, Dr. John Liu, for joining us here today. ESF has enjoyed a very unique and very special relationship with Syracuse University for more than 100 years, and we certainly appreciate, Dr. Liu, your taking the time to be here with us today. There are two events that bookend your academic career. Today's Convocation, which officially kicks off your ESF experience, and graduation at the end. Your time here between these two events will be some of the most formative years of your life. You will have the opportunity to learn, to grow, to make lifelong friends, as well as important professional connections. If our next president, the faculty and staff, do our jobs as well as we intend to, you will leave ESF with an understanding of your chosen path forward to a rewarding life and career. We're so very pleased that you have made the decision to become part of the ESF family. Each college campus has its own personality and has its own culture, but in my opinion, none possess the heart of ESF. It is a spirit that can be felt across campus and is shared by our faculty, staff, students, and lives on in our alumni. While we may not always agree on everything, one thing is certain: we all pull in the same direction. That is testament to our collective commitment to do all we can to make the world a better, more environmentally sustainable place for generations to come. Now, my remarks today would not be complete without a few words regarding what has made this fall 2020 opening unique. It's no secret, those are the challenges that are brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, to be clear, our highest priority in coming back this fall is the continued health and safety of our students, faculty, and staff, and to do all we can to mitigate the spread of this terrible virus. We began to plan for the fall 2020 reopening back in April, and in late June we announced a comprehensive reopening plan centered on the implementation of extensive public health safeguards that meet the public health and safety requirements that have been set in place by New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo, as well as those of the state and county departments of health. The plan describes our approach to return students, faculty, and staff to campus safely and with the flexibility to adjust as conditions warrant. We have created a blended academic delivery model in which some classes meet face-to-face, some meet exclusively online, while others are offered by means of a mix of online and face-to-face learning. We have also made modifications to our physical spaces to help ensure social distancing and increase cleaning and hygiene. We have also implemented daily staff health screening, as well as face covering and social distancing guidelines. During the course of the semester, we will continue to collaborate with faculty, staff, and students, as well as local public health officials, elected leaders, and SUNY administration. As we move forward, we will succeed, whatever comes our way. Now back to some more positive news. As many of you already know, ESF is one of the top environmental schools, not only in the country, but in the world. ESF has been a leader on numerous lists of green and sustainable schools. Sustainability is something you will find we hold in very high regard, and many of you no doubt will help us become more sustainable during your time with us. For example, in recent years, ESF has received a number of accolades, including, but not limited to, the following. The Princeton Review named ESF number 2 among the top 50 green colleges. Niche.com ranked ESF number 2 among the top public universities in New York State. The Sierra Club ranked ESF number 3 in their Cool Schools list. Money Magazine ranked ESF 12 among the best small colleges. And ESF has received a gold rating from the Sustainability Tracking, Assessment, and Rating System, otherwise known as STARS. As you will discover during your time here, we have incredibly accomplished faculty members who are renowned leaders in their fields. Our faculty are sought out by many governmental and non-governmental agencies to perform the science required to make environmentally sound policy decisions. Consequently, as students, you may have the opportunity to work for these agencies, where you may want to intern or perhaps make it your career. At ESF, our education and research laboratories extend far beyond our Syracuse campus. We have 25,000 acres of outdoor laboratories across New York State that are well-developed platforms for education and research on real-world problems in environmental science, forestry, natural resources management, and other disciplines. These include the Thousand Islands Biological Station, the Newcomb campus in Huntington Forest, Cranberry Lake Biological Station, Pack Demonstration and Experimental Forest, Dubar Forest, and the Ranger School in the Adirondacks. as well as properties that are just a short ride south of here in Lafayette. Dr. Neil Murphy, a past president here at ESF, used to sum up ESF this way. ESF is a small college with a Syracuse-based main campus consisting of 9 buildings on 17 acres. However, we are also one of the largest in the United States with 25,000 acres, 70 miles of roads, 178 buildings, 4 lakes, 3 islands, and, yes, 1 mountain. So during your time with us, I encourage you to seek out one or more of these properties, and I promise you it'll be a transformative experience. Now, there's much more I could say and share with you about all the great things here at ESF, but instead, I will let you discover them on your own. I'll conclude my remarks by again welcoming you to the official start of our 2020-2021 academic year and to the ESF family. Thank you.
I now would like to introduce Interim Vice Chancellor and Provost from Syracuse University, Dr. John Liu. Provost Liu previously served as the Vice President for Research at Syracuse University and came there in 2017 from Auburn University, where he had served as the Associate Provost and Associate Vice President for Research. Dr. Liu is an international leader and a world authority in the area of aquaculture genomics and bioinformation. He is a Fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science and a Fellow of the World Aquaculture Society. Dr. Liu.
Thank you, Provost Newman. Thank you for inviting me to represent Syracuse University in welcoming you. On behalf of Chancellor Kent Severud and all of us at Syracuse University, welcome to the College of Environmental Science and Forestry and to Syracuse. ESF is relatively small in size, as your leaders just introduced, but it has a huge national and international footprint and reputation. As a leader in agriculture, I know many academic leaders, such as deans, provosts, professors, and many famous scientists in the area of forestry, environment, sustainability, and climate change who are ESF graduates. You have made to the college, and you choose to come to this famous institution to do your homework. This was a great choice, and congratulations. Today, as a nation, we are facing serious challenges, including the COVID-19 pandemic, huge disparities in social justice, and global climate change. You will be the next generation of scientists, engineers, and societal leaders. The work you will do here in this college will be a game changer. And I hope you will grasp this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to equip yourself with knowledge and skills to deal with these huge global challenges. Our two institutions are truly sister institutions that share the same intertwined roots, vision, and values. Our leaders work together very, very closely. I meet with Provost Newman regularly. During your time here, I urge you to take advantage of everything both Syracuse University and ESF have to offer you, including many resources such as libraries, recreational facilities, student activities, clubs, classes, and many services that support students, as well as collaborative research. I wish you a great success and a super college experience here at ESF. Congratulations again, and welcome.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much, Dr. Liu. Now, each year, we invite a faculty member to provide some remarks to the entering class. This year, it is my pleasure to introduce and invite to the podium Dr. Cynthia Downs. Dr. Downs started at ESF this past year and is a faculty member in the wildlife program in the Department of Environmental and Forest Biology. She previously taught at Hamilton College and is a graduate of the College of Environmental Science and Forestry, class of 2003. Dr. Downs, welcome.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. Welcome to ESF. Starting college or transferring to a new school during a pandemic is not without its challenges, as I'm sure you've learned. I wish I could tell you what it's like, but you are the first class to do so in over 100 years. You are already making history. Instead, I can speak to you as a faculty member and as a fellow Okie who graduated from ESF. For better or worse, and I like to think that it's for better, I was deeply shaped by this unique little school next to Syracuse University. If you'll indulge me, I'd like to give you a few tips about how to make the most of your time here at ESF. Let's start simple. Study hard, but make time to relax. We ask a lot of our students. ESF's curriculum is heavy on math and science, and you'll have to work hard to be successful. Still, you should find time for fun. There are many natural areas with trails near ESF. At Green Lakes, you can kayak, enjoy the beach, and photograph the fall colors. And the Adirondacks are not far away. Explore the different types of food available here. Dance to music at Westcott Theater and Funkin' Waffles. Explore the art museums and local history spots associated with the abolition movement and women's suffrage. You know, once it's safe to do so. Sometimes, the best times involve doing nothing. My favorite memories of ESF are grilling on my back porch and hanging with my housemates. These are pandemically approved activities. Finding time to relax is particularly important during these times of uncertainty when people are feeling extra anxious. You need to find a way to decompress while staying socially distant and safe. Find your people. It's cliche, but my closest friends are now those whom I met at ESF. My college housemates are still my advisory council when I need to make a big decision. My best friend from undergrad also became a scientist. I used to argue with her about scientific ideas over coffee at Starbucks on University Ave as a way to prepare debating those same ideas with my professors. Now she's the first person I call when I need to check my scientific reasoning. ESF and SU offer clubs centered around all types of diverse activities. Those clubs will continue to host activities during the pandemic, so find your people. Try something new. You are already on the way to do this by coming to and joining the ESF community. And remember those clubs I just mentioned? Attend events that are outside your comfort zone and take advantage of all that ESF and SU have to offer. Never been ice climbing? Try it. Never written a poem? Try it. Know nothing about art history? Take a class. Take a policy class, take a drawing class, take a class you're afraid of. You might not like an individual experience, but to misquote the lyrics of an AJR song, 100 experiences make 100 good stories, and 100 good stories make you interesting at parties. Again, when it's safe. Listen to different perspectives and learn from the stories of others. In your classes, you will be asked to debate topics that I hope you are passionate about. As examples, you might debate whether hunting is a useful tool for managing wildlife, or whether the advantages of wind energy offset the costs of wildlife killed by the turbines. Your peers will be equally passionate, but from a different perspective. We'll ask you to use scientific evidence to support your position, but we'll also ask you to respect and try to understand the human side of complex issues. Solving the world's biggest problems, climate change, pandemic disease, access to energy, food, and clean water, unjust environmental policies, will require solid science, but it will also require the ability to work with people and their communities. Ask for help. Your peers are an amazing resource, and your professors and the staff here want to see you succeed. Asking for help is not something to be ashamed of. It doesn't mean that you aren't cutting it. Rather, it means that you are taking advantage of all the resources at your disposal and that you are doing something to expand your mind. Learning is hard. During the first month here, I recommend you go to the office hours of all your professors at least once, even if they're virtual. Introduce yourself and ask them for tips on how to be successful. These conversations will help you develop a relationship and make it easier to ask for help. Embrace the weird. ESF is a unique community. Students are from cities, suburbia, and the rural environment. They're hunters, tree huggers, engineers, hippies, and everyone in between. Your professors will do crazy things, like meet you at 5 a.m. on a Saturday morning, only to drive you to the Canadian border so you can look for a snowy owl and not find it. I recommend you sleep before those field trips, but I'm not speaking from personal experience there. As part of your classes, you'll be asked to play in the mud, taste plants, improve the designs of water treatment plants. You'll be asked to write about the intersection of race, gender, and the environment. You'll be asked to make painkillers from willow, to carve park designs from styrofoam, to think about how traditional knowledge helps us solve environmental problems. Embrace these activities. Remember how I told you to ask for tips? Here's my most important one if you're on campus this fall. The least expensive but yummiest cup of coffee can be found in People's Place in Hendricks Chapel, which is on SU's campus. You'll recognize the building because it looks like the Parthenon. A mug refill is $1. It's student managed, and the coffee is fair trade. Now go forth and debate the environmental costs of coffee as a commodity crop with the new friends that you're bound to meet while climbing a rock, writing a song, studying for an exam, or just enjoying the quad. I think that about sums up ESF. I look forward to you joining the ranks of the Okie alumni in the years to come. Study hard, have fun, and continue to make history.
Thank you, Cynthia. Now, I'd like to introduce the Dean for Student Affairs, Dean Ann Lombard.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am so pleased to offer remarks on behalf of Lexi Chipwells, the president of the Undergraduate Student Association, which is the representative body of the undergraduate students at ESF. Lexi is a student who lives in Indiana, so she is unable to be with us personally today because she is still in a hotspot state. Lexi is a construction management major and is a member of the class of 2021, and she says, "Hello, Stumpies. Due to New York State quarantine guidelines, I cannot be here with you today, unfortunately, but I'm sure whoever reading this will do a great job." I swear I didn't write that. My name is Lexi, and I am the president of the USA, the Undergraduate Student Association, the undergraduate student government here at ESF. I'm a fourth-year student in construction management and sustainable energy management. Besides USA, I am involved in the Food Recovery Network and the Syracuse University Western Equestrian Team. I encourage you all to embrace the benefits of our shared campus and try all of the unique clubs and activities each school has to offer. Clubs are a great place to meet friends and find people who share your interests and hobbies. If you want to join the coolest organization on campus, USA is definitely the place to come. We are the representative voice for undergraduate students. It is our mission to promote your interest and ideas. We allocate the student activities fee to support all clubs and special interest groups, as well as putting on your own campus events. We provide an easy connection between students and faculty and administrators. We have many different positions with various levels of involvement, so there truly is a place for everyone in USA. I joined just last year as a department senator and had so much fun, I decided to run for president. If you don't want to commit yourself to a position right away, all students are always welcome to attend our weekly meetings. You can also reach out to us or to me anytime on social media or by email. You will be receiving an email from me, Lexi, with all of this information, so keep an eye out for that. ESF is a wonderful campus with the best community of people, so I'm sure you'll quickly feel at home here, even in the midst of a pandemic. We are creating many fun and safe ways to stay connected and engaged this semester, and I hope to see you there in person or on my screen. I'm so excited for the coming semester, and I can't wait to see everyone safely together again. Thank you for listening, and best of luck with your first week of college. You'll do great. Thank you, Lexi, for those remarks. We're grateful, and we're looking forward to having you back on campus soon. It is now my pleasure to introduce Justin Besladdy, the Graduate Student Association representative to the ESF Board of Trustees, who will make a welcome on behalf of the graduate students. Justin?
Ann, why don't you come over here?
Undergraduate and graduate students, welcome to ESF. My name is Justin Besladdy. I'm a PhD student in the Graduate Program of Environmental Science and the current Graduate Student Association representative to the ESF Board of Trustees. Though I wish we could be meeting under better circumstances, I am proud to welcome you all to this wonderful community. ESF is truly the jewel of the SUNY system and has much to offer each of its students. The resources available to us have greatly aided my research projects, and I encourage everyone to take advantage of the opportunities here in Syracuse and across our many properties throughout the state of New York. Here at ESF, graduate students play a vital role in both education and research. Teaching assistants help the faculty deliver our top-notch academic experience, and research assistants allow our relatively small institution to punch above its weight in the scientific community. The Graduate Students Association, GSA for short, strives to represent the concerns, needs, and voices of our graduate students while developing a sense of community and camaraderie. This mission takes many forms, from serving as the link between grads and faculty to organizing get-togethers for graduate students. This association thrives on student participation, and I hope all of you will consider running for a position in the future. There are varying degrees of involvement, ranging from president to department representative, but all positions grant you an equal voice during GSA discussions. We have a forum on Facebook where students can ask representatives and fellow students questions. I encourage you to join and meet some of the more seasoned graduate students. They probably have the answer to that question, or at least know who to ask. Graduate school is challenging, but together we can make it more enjoyable. I know it may seem difficult to make new friends or find a sense of community during the pandemic, but the GSA will strive to find new and safe ways to reach out to you incoming grads. If you have any questions about the GSA or just general graduate student concerns, please join the forum on Facebook or find my email address by typing in my name on the syr.edu email account. Again, I'm Justin Besladdy, and welcome to ESF. Now, please join me in welcoming this year's head orientation leaders, Molly Mulher, class of 2021 in Environmental Resource Engineering, and Mette Rice, class of 2021 in Aquatics and Fisheries Science.
Hi everyone, and welcome. My name is Mette Rice, and I'm one of your head orientation leaders alongside Molly Mulher, who will be speaking right after me. I am a senior in Aquatics and Fisheries Science, and I'll be minoring in Marine Sciences. One of our roles as orientation leaders is to make your transition to SUNY ESF as smooth as possible. The 47 OLs that you may encounter around the ESF campus will be happy to help you and answer any questions you may have. This is one of the most exciting parts of the year for the orientation leaders and staff because we get to see so many new faces that we may have never seen before. The reason ESF can build such an amazing community is because all of you are starting this new chapter of your lives. My one piece of advice for incoming students is to not be afraid, ashamed, or nervous to talk to any professors or faculty at ESF. ESF has the best team of professors and faculty I have ever seen in my life. I've had some of the most memorable conversations with professors just because they are so happy to talk to any student about anything. I hope you all have a great transition to ESF and learn to love ESF just as I do. And now I introduce Molly.
Thank you, Mette. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Molly Mulher, and I'm your second head orientation leader, as Mette mentioned. This is my final year here at ESF studying environmental resources engineering, and I am pleased to be joining you in this virtual setting. This year isn't our traditional year, but we are still going to have our traditional passionate and resilient ESF community. This past week, our orientation leaders have been working diligently to provide you all with opportunities to ask questions, connect with other students, and have fun amidst this pandemic. This is what orientation leaders are here for, to help you in your transition here to ESF socially, academically, and personally. Mete put it well earlier. This is the most exciting time for our orientation leaders, and they are more than willing to help you in any way that they can. As you are transitioning to ESF, don't stray from who you are. Embrace yourself and the person you want to be. Oscar Wilde once said, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." Be true to yourself and be or become the person you would like to be. ESF has provided me with opportunities to discover who I want to be and to pursue my passions. I hope that it provides you with that same opportunity to unearth who you are and who you want to be, as it did for me. I'm looking forward to meeting you, and remember to embrace and enjoy who you are during your time here at ESF. Thank you. Now I would like to welcome Dean Lombard, Dean of Student Affairs, Dean Lombard.
That's totally fine, Molly. Thank you, Molly and Mete. And Justin, thank you all for joining us. Hello again, and welcome to all our new students. My name is Dean Lombard, and I have the great privilege of representing the outstanding team in the Division of Student Affairs in welcoming you formally today. We have oversight for many of the out-of-classroom programs, services, and resources that are available to all students at ESF. One positive thing that has come out of the challenges of the pandemic is that we have the opportunity to welcome all our new students together today during this new student convocation. Not just our undergraduate students, but also our graduate students and our Ranger School students. We are thrilled to have you all with us this afternoon. During my orientation module earlier this summer, one of the things that I talked about is the special sense of community that exists here at the College of Environmental Science and Forestry. We are a small, close-knit, very special community, and we are united by our concern for each other and for the environment. Each of you brings your unique self and your special strength to our community, and we are thrilled you have chosen ESF as your home for the next 4 or 5 years. Get involved, find your place, and get connected. And when you need it, as others have urged, please don't be afraid to ask for assistance and support. There are people and resources across campus whose job it is to help you be successful here. Don't be afraid to seek them out. Following our convocation today, we continue our orientation with 2 very special events. There's More to My Story and our Inclusive Excellence Welcome. I look forward to your joining us for those events this afternoon, and I look forward to meeting and assisting you throughout this semester, this year, and your time at ESF. Now please join me in welcoming back to the podium Dr. and Provost Newman.
So, we come to the end of our first virtual convocation. We have many challenges in front of us as we begin this semester. For you, the classes of 2023 and 24, this may seem all new and overwhelming to you, but actually, this is pretty new and overwhelming to all of us. We are all learning how to get through this new normal, but we will do it. Stumpies are well known for their ability to get the job done and to persevere, and I have confidence that we will come through these trying times as classes have in the past. As others have said, don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it, or give it if you see someone in need. This is how we will succeed and move forward. Good luck to you all, and enjoy your time here. Thank Thank you all very much.